You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network. TESPN.
Welcome to this week's TESPN podcast. My man Hagen Andrew and I are joined by baseball players Tony Benitez and Owen Giesen. And Owen is class of 2026, Tony class of 25, and Hagen class of 25 as well. So, Tony, let's start with you. I mean, you've been in the program, I guess, as long as anybody, 4 years in the program, been through some ups and downs, but can you just talk about this season, the fact that you all have battled to about a 500 record, a lot more wins than last year, and some big wins too. Sweeping St. Christopher's for the first time in a while, a big win against Collegiate, who's a really strong team this year. What's been the key to having a more successful season?
I really think that our work ethic and our attitudes have really changed this year. I feel like in the past we've had a tendency to get down after we lose, but I feel like after the losses this season, we were able to come back. We lost to Collegiate the first game, and then the second game we beat them 8-7. I feel like the team, we never got down on ourselves. We always stayed up, and what helped that also was, I think, Coach Gary. He was always alive during the practices, during the games. He never really got down. He never gave up. He was always into it, and even if we were down, he would be like, "Get after it. Come on, let's go." So I feel like our attitudes are probably the biggest thing.
And Owen, for you, I mean, even though you're only a 10th grader, also you've been here for 3 years because you came in as an 8th grader. And with such a young team, with only one senior, you're actually one of the elder statesmen, so to speak, on the team, despite only being in the 10th grade. For you, how have you tried to be a leader despite being, technically an underclassman?
I mean, it makes it a lot easier that we only have one senior, and I just feel like anyone that's playing or anyone on the team can help build us up and just encourage your teammates. No matter if you're a freshman or a senior, you can be a good teammate and a good leader and let your playing show for that as well.
So mine's kind of similar to that, but for Tony, you've been on the team, you've seen the ups, the downs throughout your years here. And so how have you been able to carry that and be a leader on the team?
Well, my biggest thing is that this is the first time that I was able to catch the entire season. So I feel like, our two best pitchers, Lawson and Jalen, they're both young guys. They still, they're young, so I think they need a little bit more time to get there. And then next year, I feel like they're really going to be there. But my biggest thing was, when I was talking to them, I always tried to stay positive. Whenever they would, throw a lot of balls, I call time, walk up to them and say, everything's all right, calm down. So I feel like my relationship with the pitchers has really helped me become a leader on this team.
And Owen, for you, I mean, you're a guy who's played several different positions, mostly first, but you've also done some pitching and even played a little third base. And obviously in high school baseball, versatility is important. It's not like in the majors where, you have your Shohei Ohtani's is kind of the exception to the rule, but generally you're probably playing one position. But what's it like for you bouncing to both sides of the infield as well as to the pitcher's mound, and what that versatility brings to the team?
I think how much we practice and work on different things, it allows everybody to work on a few different positions, and with Lawson and Jalen also being corner infielders, depending on who's pitching each day, whether it's me, Lawson, or Jalen, it's allowed me and Jalen to bounce around and help out where we're needed. And yeah.
Well, another thing I wanted to ask you all about is we hear a lot about the pitching on this team, but also the bats. I know it's not like you all are putting up consistent double-digit runs, but having said that, last year scoring was a big problem, and this year, like you mentioned, an 8-7 win over Collegiate, a recent 9-3 win over St. Christopher's. Those are quality teams with good pitchers, and you all are finding a way to get runs across the plate for the most part. Can you explain why the bats have been, again, not saying we're the 27 Yankees here, but more prolific offensively compared to maybe last year?
Yeah, so I think a big part of that is Coach Garrity, actually. I feel like the way he teaches hitting it's awesome. And we practice hitting every single practice. Another person who's played a big role in that is Brennan. So he took a year off. I think he had he had some back problems, but I mean, I think he might have the most hits on the team, and probably 18 of those hits are bunts. I mean, he's able to bunt the ball. He's so fast, he gets on first, and it kind of hypes us up. We're if it's a guy who's throwing hard, Brennan lays down a bunt, and it feels like we have more of a chance now because he was able to get on base, and I feel like that's just really helped us throughout the entire year.
Yeah, to go off what Tony said, like to start off the game or go around the lineup with Brennan getting on base as the leadoff hitter, like it really helps everyone else have a better approach to kind of score him and move the runner. And then during practice, like if we have a rough game at the plate, like Coach Garrity is very good at helping us make specific adjustments, like as a team to produce more runs.
So at the beginning of the season, I'm sure both of y'all had personal goals for the season and also for the team. So could y'all just talk about like season, like it's getting near the end of the year, just about the goals that y'all have accomplished, like personal and as a team, and the ones that you still are trying to?
Yeah, so I think the main goal this year was to have a better record than last year, and last year we ended 5-15, and this year currently we're 9-10. Hopefully we'll end the season 500 at 10-10. That was the first big goal, but another one is the team chemistry. I feel like in previous years our team hasn't always molded together properly. I feel like when one person gets down, it kind of infects everyone else. So I feel like again the attitude is there again. So I feel like the team chemistry this year has been a lot better than what it used to be.
Yeah, as a team, I think our main goal was to just start something new since we had 8 or 9 seniors graduate last year, just to like start a new foundation for the program, and especially since we're such a young team, just provide something to build off of, and a 500 season's a great start with most of the team coming back.
And Owen, you already talked a little bit about your idea that anyone can lead, whether they're a freshman or a senior. But I wanted to follow up on that with you, Tony, because you are, like we said, kind of the elder statesman of the team despite being a junior. And it strikes me like you're such a positive person who has a real can-do attitude. And I would just love for you to describe how you view your leadership style on what's really a very young team, only having one senior.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I try to do is if someone does something bad, you come over to them. You don't say something in front of everyone. I feel like you talk to them one-on-one, and you tell them, like, it's okay, you're a better player than the play you just made, and, kind of just hype them up. You got to tell them, calm down, be ready to go in the next one, forget what happened, the last pitch. All that matters is what happens next, So I feel like really focusing on the future rather than the past is a big thing, and I really try to preach that to everyone else.
All right, and then last thing, and then maybe we can end a little lightning around as well, but both of you have made references, I think several references to the future. So yes, Brennan, like you said, he's had a great year getting on base, stealing bases, and being a real threat on the base paths. And we are going to lose Brennan as he's going on to play college football at the Naval Academy. But otherwise, you got essentially the whole team is able to come back with only having one senior. So with these references you all are making to the future, specifically, what do you all think? Again, also top 2 pitchers are just sophomores, top 3 pitchers, I guess, actually, with throwing you into the mix there as well, Owen. So talk about the future and how that looks for Trinity baseball.
Sure. Well, we're obviously losing Brennan, but we've had a lot of guys rotate into that right field spot, so a lot of different freshmen and sophomores have gotten experience playing in the outfield. So I think it should be a smooth transition just for one of those guys to step up. And then obviously the rest of the team's coming back, and just the team going into this year had very minimal varsity experience, and now we just have an opportunity to have more experience and go farther than we did this year.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things is that we have a lot of sophomores playing varsity this year, and I feel like them getting that experience is really, really beneficial for them. So they have the next 2 years They can stay calm. They know what it's like to be in a varsity game. And another thing is, I'm really looking forward to see Rocco Fiske, freshman. He's dabbled in right field a little bit, but I feel like next year he's going to really grow into a prominent role for the team. And I feel like everyone else. I'm really excited for our hitting next year. I'm really excited to see what that brings because everyone's working on hitting. That's the biggest thing that we're working on the entire offseason. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Hey, you got any more questions for these guys?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's end it with a little lightning round. I want to start with this is a slightly longer question, but it should be hopefully a real short answer. But both of you guys were in the first semester inaugural sports media class. Who's your favorite guest speaker?
Riley Wyatt.
Same. Yeah.
What is your walk-up song?
I forgot.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Run This Town. Yeah.
What's this one called? The DJ Khaled one.
I don't remember.
Some by DJ Khaled.
Who's your favorite professional baseball player?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Aaron Judge.
And you guys both Yankees fans?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Do you have a pregame superstition?
Yeah. Before every game that I catch, I have to lay my gear out. Helmet, chest protector, 2 knee pads, and glove to the left.
Not necessarily, but I do like the same warm up in the same order every time.
If you could go on an all expenses paid trip anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
You go first. Let me think about this.
Hawaii.
I'd go to Brazil.
All right, let's do 2 more. Who is your funniest teammate?
Tony.
Rocco Fiske.
And last one, what has been the highlight of the season?
For me, it was hitting the double that gave us the lead against Collegiate.
Closing out the St. Chris sweep.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Really, really excited to see what the future of Trinity baseball holds. A really much improved season, very much in the conversation to make a state tournament. Probably might fall just 1 spot short of that, it's looking like, but a lot to be proud of and a really bright future for these guys. And 1 game to go as we film this at Woodbury tomorrow, and a win gets you to 500, which I think everyone will feel really good about and can't wait for next year. Congratulations on a good season. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Hagen. Thanks to everybody who watched, and we'll see you next time.